Hey everyone, welcome to AI in Focus, our AI learning series. We are continuing our work on Ready, Set, Go. And as you may have seen from our recent shows, we're switching away from app generation and moving into discovery sprints, guiding you towards taking an initial idea and really fully fleshing it out. This week, I am joined by now 23 years at ThoughtBot, Chad Pytel.
Welcome. Thank you. I said welcome. I don't know why. You threw me off with mentioning the anniversary. That was on the 2nd of June. And I actually made a mistake. I said it was the 24th anniversary and then realized, no, it's entering the 24th year, but it's only the 23rd anniversary. That always trips me up, especially since the numbers are so high.
For sure. Hard to believe 23 years of ThoughtBot, yeah?
Hard to believe.
That's a lot. All right, so let's get right into it. Last week we had started working on our discovery sprint. We created a new agent to kick off a discovery sprint, and this year we're going to focus on orchestrating all the pieces that go. So we're going to have kickoff, customer success, a lot of exploration steps. Chad, if you're ready, go for it. We could do a quick review of what we've done before we jump in, but either way is good.
Yeah. So here we are with a fresh sort of setup of Ready, Set, Go. So to recap, we can create a name, Fast Care. And then we go into the chat experience. Right now, it doesn't immediately jump into anything. That's actually something that's in the backlog, is to really start getting into the planning process right away. But So, what's the idea? A new urgent care service that helps people, actually a new digital first urgent care that helps people get the care they need fast. So to give an idea, we're in the kickoff phase. So it's just learning about the idea that we're going to do. It's asking follow-up questions based on the skills that the kickoff instructions that we have. And in last week's stream, we introduced that kickoff agent. So, and that is going to provide the model for us going forward. We did in between, we touched on it in last week's stream that we realized we really needed to extract our existing app building agent into its own Ruby LLM agent as well. And so you led the charge on that this week, Lewis, and extracted that out. And so we now have a app generation agent as well as the kickoff agent. And the kickoff agent has instructions, and Ruby LLM will automatically look for ERB files that include the instructions based off of the agent's name. So this is automatically loading.
We just merged that about 10 minutes ago, so this is really exciting to see it fully working. To see it fully working live, but it's a really clean implementation that Ruby LLM provides to just connect those two pieces.
Yeah. So this includes all the instructions for the kickoff phase, and you can see that's what it's doing here. So when you say fast, what's the comparison? Fast versus what? Walk me through a scenario. Someone wakes me up with a chest pain or a kid with a high fever at 11 p.m. What happens now that's slow, and what would your version do differently? And a follow up, who's it for?
Yeah.
So
And this is something we ran into last time.
yeah, exactly. So what's happening now is we do have a global set of instructions, but we're not giving those instructions currently to the agent. And so it's one of the first things you see is it's asking multiple questions at a time, which we think is not the model that we want. We want one question at a time. And so that's part of what we're going to do today. We're going to load in the global instructions. The global instructions currently include how to capture and record artifacts or files with things that we discover in the sprint, like an assumptions board, a back burner, even just what the product is and the requirements and all that stuff. The current skills, save those to markdown files on disk. What we're going to do is we already, in a previous stream, introduced an artifact model, which is basically a pretty, it's an active record model. It has like one field, it's a text field.
Yeah.
And so currently, and so what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that our agents can create artifacts and update artifacts.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then our vision is like this right panel where when we were building an app, we were going to show the server. These artifacts will show up maybe as stickies, maybe as just links for now. But the idea being like, as it creates things, you'll see them appear immediately. So you know, oh, I have assumptions now, you know, etc.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to work on today. All of these things that we're doing come from the basis of this pre-existing markdown skills in Claude put together by ThoughtBot team member Kevin.
Kevin, who celebrated his 7th anniversary this week. So
true.
It's all anniversaries everywhere.
we share our anniversary week. Okay, so having just put in these, I noticed that there is actually this one doesn't have it. Oh, it's the other instructions. They read in TDD instructions from a separate file.
Yep.
So do we want to do that same thing with the other agent instructions? Do we want to put the global instructions and put them up at the top of this file?
I don't know. I feel like, or my hope was, maybe I should say that. My hope was that there would be the main orchestrating agent, the sprint agent, and it would have the main instructions. And then as it kicks off steps, it's like, okay, we're in kickoff now. Can you pull up a chat response job? Whether it happens here or not, the general idea being the agent's going to say like, cool, we're out of whatever introduction. Maybe it has a little welcome message that it says to the user, hey, welcome to the sprint process. Here's what we're going to do. And then it kicks off the next thing. And it's like, okay, now our state is kickoff. And so somewhere in here, it'll ask its first question, tell me about your app. And when you say it's an urgent care, blah, 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 here is where we'll say like, what's the state of the chat? This will choose a new agent. And I am hoping by virtue of Ruby LLM that because they're all tied to the same chat, the kickoff agent will have the context of the main agent, and we won't have to tell the kickoff agent all the things because it's like more than it needs to know.
Right.
And I guess like we'll just have to find out. Maybe it needs some help. Maybe we extract like a portion, like a little summary of the main sprints instructions. But we'll see. Maybe it gets that context automatically because they're like all those messages are connected to each other.
Yep. So you're actually suggesting introducing like a an initial agent, like
Yeah. Yeah, like basically at line 18, it would be like now it would be like sprint agent.
mm-hmm.
And then this once we then have that doing things, then we have the decision point, which is like who's doing it? Are we at the beginning of the sprint, do the sprint agent? If we're in a phase, that phase is agent. At the end of the phase, back to the sprint agent to be like
Okay.
do coordinating things and tell
Okay.
you things like go get a coffee. We're gonna start another hour's work. So, you know.
Right. Right. Okay. So we can call that sprint agent, I guess.
Sure.
And let's look at the kickoff agent specs. So what we're doing now is we have a spec to see that it's including the kickoff instructions. And we have a spec to see that in this case, there are no tools provided because right now the kickoff agent has no tools. If we added tools, this is where we would add them.
Yep.
And then that it uses the provided chats model.
Yeah, and this one's kind of a, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on feeling about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is the idea that you could override it in practice? I don't know that we're going to do that. Like, it's probably going to be like,
right.
all the sprint parts are going to use the same level.
I could be wrong, but I thought we ran into an error where if you don't provide chat model, you get an error at runtime.
Oh, you mean the
sorry, yeah, no, this one you get an error. I confused model in my head for a second. So yeah, this one you
that's like the I want to use Sonnet 4.5
so you
or
don't
Opus
even
4.8.
need that there.
Right, you don't. It'll pull it off the chat if you don't specify anything.
Right. Okay. Well, then I sort of feel like we don't need that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Do we want to just copy these?
Sure. Let's give it a start.
Okay. Spec agents. Okay, so we're going to call this sprint agent.
Yeah. When Sarah and I were hosting, we were exclusively using Discovery Sprint, and I both loved it and it's wordy.
Right. Okay, we're gonna start with no tools.
Yep, and I'd say like, get rid of that one. Sounds good. And so now what my goal was to grab like the beginning of the skill and the end maybe. So I don't know, a guided product sprint. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading
this one. It's product sprint.
Product facilitator. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave this like this for now because the way I want to go about this, because we're gonna have to is take it like block by block and move things in as we look at them and read them, because we might find that some things don't apply or something like that.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna run this spec uninitialized constant sprint agent, which was what I expected. So as we showed, the agents are super simple at this point. And they are going to load that default instruction. So
so now it
live in prompts. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think if you run it now, I think before you I would say run the sprint. I'm sorry, run the test. I think it will error because it doesn't have the view, the ERB file.
Prompt file
Nice.
not
Yep.
found. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect.
And I found it interesting that, I mean, it makes sense, but that it's text.erb and not markdown.erb. Okay. So actually, let's read it over here. So you guide a founder from a raw idea to a structured build-ready plan through 10-step sprint. You are one consistent product, the expert the whole way through. The founder should finish believing two things: that the sprint reached a depth they could never have reached by chatting with a general purpose AI, and that they wanted to do it again with their next idea. Actually, let's bring in this section too.
Sure.
Conversational, not a checklist. Every step is a real conversation. The founder controls advancement. You hold the whole sprint in view. You challenge to harden the idea, capture everything. Okay, so there's nothing relevant to functionality that we need to worry about in there.
Yep. Do you want to, first of all, I think we should run it. We should be green.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, then let's keep pulling in more.
Cool. The expert voice. Two directives, both always active. Name things precisely, find a deeper problem, hold real opinions, don't sound generic. Slop watch list.
Do not want to end up on the slop watch list.
Okay, I think this is all good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we get
it does look like
oh, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the next part is where we're like, let's stop here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's stop here. And now we can go over to here. If we go back and we can create a new chat, it's gonna start from scratch.
Yeah, this is a long-standing thing where we want to get rid of this. And also, though, I imagine that we, for a sprint, wouldn't start a new chat. Like your only option would be to continue.
I didn't tell it. We got way ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah.
We didn't hook this up at all.
Oh, right. Shall we write a test for this?
Yeah. So at the very least, chat response job should
yeah, there's a section in that agent selection towards the bottom is a block. Yeah, cool. So somewhere in between those two, probably, or we could move app generation to the bottom since we're deprioritizing that.
So
also, this is also interesting in the sense, like, I'm thinking about how does this tie in with, like, we want it, like we were saying at the beginning, we wanted to start talking to you, not wait for you to say something. That might shift these tests a little, but I think we can start for now assuming that you say something and then it kicks off, and we'll update them as we go.
Yeah. Do we want to jump right to like the sprint having an enum that, or something that tracks what step it's on?
I think so. And so I think, like, yeah, like if, like, to test drive that out here.
Right. And in some ways, then what that means is you're just when this flipper flag is enabled, you're just not going to be able to advance to that step.
Exactly. So that'll get, yeah, like when all the phases are done, if the flag's enabled, continue, and if not, we're done.
Yeah.
Throw confetti.
It uses an agent that matches the sprint's current step.
Naming is hard. I've thought phases. Like what? Let me look at what the sprint skill says. So it has.
So we have a discovery sprint model, and that belongs to a project.
Yeah, and the skill talks about it as steps and phases. So discovery is a step and kickoff is a phase. We don't have to keep that naming, just like that's what the current thing describes.
Phase, okay. So discovery sprint belongs to project. Chat belongs to app, which belongs to project, and it delegates project to app. I'm just going to write this out.
Yeah.
And then we can adjust. Do you remember?
I know that chat has a with app.
Okay, and discovery sprint gives the project.
So like maybe we do like a with app and a with chat, or I'm sorry, with app and a with sprint.
So you're actually suggesting we create the project.
Mm-hmm. And then use a helper there with sprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it's with app, not with chat.
Right. And I mean, technically, I don't know if we need the app.
But we can. The agent relies on app.
The app building one does. Let me look to see. Do we need?
I know that
tools need a chat. And the app generation agent. I don't know. I'm not convinced we need it, but we can find out.
Okay, so when we have our sprint, and we'll set the sprint. So the sprint should default to like a setup phase or something like that. But that would be sprint agent.
Yeah, so then our expectation here would be that the chat response job uses the sprint agent.
Right.
Also, am I echoing for you?
No.
Okay, it's just me echoing in me. So if I sound like I'm distracted, it's because I'm constantly hearing my voice very quietly in the back.
We are monitoring the chat, so if Lewis is echoing for you watching, let us know, and we'll sort it out. We need it for the chat response job, which is what we're testing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You probably do chat.soul here. Or you could do... What do we do in the other ones?
I was going to take it from the factory, but we actually don't have a chat either.
What's that?
What do we don't have a chat there, so actually we need to create one, so we can do create chat with project like this. So that's not going to work. Factory not registered sprint. Oh, it's discovery sprint. That's going to continue to plague us. I can sense it.
we can do a rename.
Undefined method sprint for an instance of project. Undefined method discovery sprint for an instance of project. Let's actually look at the project. I guess they can.
Oh, it's plural.
Discovery sprints.
Yep.
How is the chat going to know which discovery sprint it's doing?
I'm tossing around models in my head.
Right now, we're not exposing it at all. We're just transparently creating a discovery sprint. So I think, what is it? .soul?
Yeah.
.soul, but I'm not a soldier. Now I'll remember it. Undefined method project for an instance of chat. Oh, chat belongs to an app. Undefined method app for an instance of project. That's because it has multiple apps.
All right, hang on.
Yeah.
Let's look at what's the test currently doing? So the one below it, like with the kickoff agent.
Mm-hmm.
We're creating a chat. Yeah, I see. Okay. Because now we're switching to the status being on the discovery sprint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking through the models here.
So undefined method app for an instance of project.
Because the project has many
multiple
apps.
Applications. But that's not a problem in our app. That's just a problem in the spec. So I think we can safely do that. Okay, so now we're getting the actual error that I expected.
So I think this pattern was good for where we were building it up to be like, make sure the right agent handles it.
Mm-hmm.
At the point that we have 10 agents, we're not going to want to be like having to...
I just see this as like an integration level sort of coverage.
So yeah, my question is like, do we just want to say allow sprint agent to receive it, and expect sprint agent to have received new, and not do the not to part of the other things.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I will
So,
work on the factories to make this setup better.
well, I think, I always don't want to do that prematurely because you end up like I always prefer to see what patterns emerge first. Um, okay, so we want to add. Do we want to go full on? I
Like basically define an empty sprint, a
Yeah,
sprint agent.
um, but also I'm wondering like how do we want to tie the phases directly to the agent names, or do we want a level of indirection there?
I feel like directly tied for now. Otherwise,
Okay,
it's, I don't know.
so that means that in my mind, then that is, um, we would be defining an enum um, phase, um, and it would be the name of the agent. Like this.
So the only issue there is it depends how much you want to tie it to the main skill, because like it thinks of there being 3 steps, and the phase is the kickoff phase. So like there isn't like a sprint phase.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
But that it's only called that because it matches the agent name to use.
yeah, okay.
That's the
Let's
But otherwise, I think what we do is we could, either just record what step you're on and have an array of the different agents to use.
was that the indirection suggestion?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it.
Or we could do like it's like welcome kickoff, and then it'd be like
It's certainly clean. Like it's easy to see and easy to do the mapping. We're gonna have, just to like think out here,
mm-hmm.
10 phases or 10 steps in the first phase. Yeah, we might need to, if we want to follow the sprint skill,
Yeah.
like there's like is no discovery phase, but there are steps. So maybe these are steps.
Sure.
I just don't want the agent to get confused with when we tell it there's phases and steps.
Well, I think we just have to change the language in it to match what we want. Also, I think it's worth questioning. So, this enum I'm mapping to integers, but isn't there a way to do it in Postgres where it's not integers, but it actually is?
Yeah, like you could do welcome, string welcome.
Is
And I
this?
think
Whoa, I typed string. Is that the format?
yeah, if you look at the chat model, we have an example.
Okay, yeah. Do those need to be strings or can they be symbols?
Now that I don't remember.
I'm going to try symbols.
Okay.
So what do you like? Do you like this mapping to the agent name here, or a level of interaction where it's going to go through steps?
The steps at least reads pretty cleanly. If I'm looking at line 9, it's not clear that that's mapping to an agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
Okay. So now that we've got that sort of mapped out in our heads,
Mm-hmm.
we can write specs for it. It actually describe, I'm thinking it would be called agent method, or maybe current agent.
Yeah, also let me jump in. I just realized I had misread the original skill. I thought there were 3 top level things and each had steps. But it's in fact, there are 3 phases, but they're just 10 steps. Like that's it. It's just that like 1 through, what does it say here? 1 through X are part of the first phase, and steps, the next 3 are part of the next phase. So this is good. The structure we have is good, just steps.
Okay. And I'm thinking of a different name, like step agent.
Cool. Sure.
Unknown attribute step for discovery sprint, which is pretty much what I expected.
All right.
So we're going to add step to discovery sprints.
Do you want to know what the schema is on that?
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head the syntax for making an actual enum column. Do you?
What was it? I think it was chat status, right? I don't think you have to do anything special, just a string.
So like on the chat, I was thinking it'd be an actual Postgres enum, but and then the
that I don't know. This will make an integer enum, I think, at the database level. Actually, let me look at what does it look like if we look at the console.
No, this isn't going to make it. There's nothing here that tells it to make an enum.
Right, it won't be a Postgres enum, but it will be a Rails enum.
Right. I was thinking we would make a Postgres enum. But as I'm typing this, I also realize this isn't going to work with symbols because of the way it's defined. That's why it needs to be a string. I don't know if there's a advantage to not having it be, or to having it be a Postgres enum.
Every time I look and I read articles, and it's like, it's hard to judge because they're like from years ago and things change. And the thing I always land on is, at the end of the day, for what I'm doing, it's all going to be fine. And the nice thing about the string enums is you never get into that situation where you're like, well, this step logically is between these other two, but the numbers are wrong. And if you do like an integer one.
Right. So I'm gonna, since we're test driving, I was about to use a fetch, but then I realized if we want it to fall back to something, we should write a spec for that first.
Sure. And I mean, for here, if you just have it return kickoff agent, we would get a passing test.
We get failing test because I'm looking for sprint agent in the.
Oh.
So these are symbols, not strings. But this is coming out. It's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be a string. But let's see what we get there. Wrong number of arguments. Oh. It is the
symbol
name of the symbol, then a comma.
Yes.
So we got nil. We expected sprint agent. And I think
and so that would match. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's because we're getting a string out.
Can you, with indifferent, access your way to happiness?
I was going to call to sim on it. I think calling to sim is a little bit better than having to reinstantiate with indifferent access every time.
Give it a whirl.
Or we could do what do you think?
I have faith.
Calling freeze on this isn't going to work.
Okay.
I think I like this because this is going to keep on cropping up for people. And so just starting with a indifferent one maybe helps. And then we go back up to this thing and oh, it didn't pass. Oh yeah, because we didn't change it. Let's stay down at this level though.
Sure.
So do we want it to fall back to something? Or let's not get ahead of ourselves, I guess.
Do you mean like if it doesn't recognize it?
Yeah, if it doesn't recognize it, I think what we would actually want is like a recovery agent that can like get back on track or something like that. So let's let that become a problem to begin with.
Sure. My gut instinct on that is let it fail loudly, because there shouldn't be a way that we get into a state that we don't recognize.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we have coverage for that.
Sure.
And then we obviously, to your point, don't want to create one for every single step, but I feel like we should have at least one more. Or we could add an additional expectation like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is an interesting part. It's like, this is the key part of all the functionality. Like if this part is in any way wrong, like you're just dead in the water, like nothing's happening. So like, I don't know, I would test all the cases, or I would at least, I don't know, iterate.
Well, in that case, you could literally do you could do discovery,
something like that. Yeah.
sprint. I think you can actually do steps. No, we're just testing the implementation. Discovery spront. I missed a Y. Welcome is not a valid step. So what this gives you is
Is it? We just need the value of the.
yeah. So we do .values.each.
Sure.
So we're basically just testing the implementation at that point, but what do you think?
I think again, for me, like,
move on.
It's good enough to move on. I would want to have, like, I don't know, a case statement there. Like, basically, this is the whole app in a nutshell. If this is wrong, it's broken. And therefore be like, here's the step. Like, we only have 10 steps. They're not infinite. I would be like, I want to know that this step is mapped to this agent, no question. And just like have those expectations, like 10 of them, and then recovered. Because any number of errors could make that matchup go wrong.
Okay, let's just do that then. Return. Okay, step agent returns the sprint agent for the welcome step.
I was even going to do it in one test, but okay, this also works.
And that's not any like slower for our specs than that loop that we were doing, really.
Yeah.
It's just basically unrolling that loop. Okay,
cool.
So any other specs that we want to add for that?
For the current, no, I think that's good.
Is expected to have an enum step. Oh, have enum is not is a hallucinated Okay, so now if we go back up to this is the spec we're going to make pass now. Chat response job.
Sorry, one quick question, because I was looking at, can you go back to that hallucinated one? What did it have?
It had have enum.
Will you take a look at the chat spec? Because we have a pattern there that we had set up when we defined the chat there at line 10.
Define enum for. I'm not sure why you did so We should be able to do it.
Also, I'm looking at that
to...
git blame. I'm like, I didn't do that. Like maybe I touched that line, but I feel like that was older code. But who knows? Maybe it was me.
Backed by a column of type string. Do you want to have the spec spell out the...
Let me see if we do that anywhere else. Yeah, that was older code. It was just like the thing I touched. I think at a certain point it had to be reformatted. So it was a line length thing that it made us redefine it.
So that's that.
And then only question is, do we want it to have a prefix or not?
No.
Okay.
Because it's step agent and step. Sprint step. Makes sense.
Cool.
So then we're back up to the chat response job. It's expecting the sprint agent to be used, and it's not. So if we come here, I mean,
that becomes the...
we're just going to lose. Oh, I see what you're saying. So this would be, we need to have the sprint here. It's not great that a chat belongs to an app and an app can have multiple sprints.
I totally agree.
In the data model. But right now we can only have one. Users can't create more than one.
Right.
So we can do app discovery sprints dot sol. That is a little wild.
Oh, I don't like it at all. We could at least multi-line it, maybe. We could also drive. Okay.
So we could push this down into the chat. So a chat, at least a chat like knows the discovery sprint, and for right now it's just doing the individual one.
Are you thinking like a workaround for just right now on the stream to like define discovery sprint that returns discovery sprints.sol?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay. I think that's fine. And we'll change that off stream and we'll make this simpler.
So this would become chat step agent new chat.
That does still reads weird.
It really does. The chat step agent could initialize the step agent with itself.
So that you could just do that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
it's a little weird that one step agent returns a class and the other one returns an instantiated version of it.
I'm not fully following. Tell me more.
Well, the step agent on Discovery Sprint returns the class. The step
Yes.
agent on chat that we're writing, they have the same
it's gonna
method
be,
name,
yeah.
but one's going to be instantiated. We can resolve that. We can resolve that though. That's fine. So it returns the correct agent based on the app's discovery sprint step. So does a chat have an app?
Yeah, you mean the factory?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a chat. Nope, you can do an app with chat. Oh, a chat, I'm sorry. A chat creates an app association by default. Sorry, yep.
So
Discovery Sprint creates a project. So I don't think 45 is gonna work.
Why not? Chats don't belong to projects. They belong to apps, which belong to projects.
Right, but a discovery sprint doesn't have an app association, right? I just meant 45.
Mm-hmm.
Where you reference discovery sprint.app. Yeah.
Couldn't find an app where apps. I couldn't find an app where apps project ID. Does the discovery sprint creates it with a project? Oh, and the project isn't going to have an app. So bear with me. I'm just going to write something. Allow any instance of sprint agent to receive new and return
Quick question here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Finish up this, and then I'm actually wondering if we can leverage the factories a little more.
So what I was thinking of was that this would allow you to make sure that it's instantiated with that. Now that I typed that out, I realize actually I remember the agents have a .chat method that you can call after the fact. So we don't actually need to do this. We can do chat.stepAgent.chat to be a sprint agent, and chat.stepAgent chat to equal chat. That feels better to me. And then if we go over to the chat, it was app.project.discovery sprints.
So you can go straight. You can go straight to project because we delegate from chat to project.
So that's going to pass. What do we do when do we need to protect against the case where there is no discovery sprint for a project?
At the moment, no, because our create hook creates both an app and a discovery sprint at the point that you're like, I want to build a new thing. I'm really thinking though, like going to has one on that association is probably wise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, our test is passing here, our original one for the chat response job now.
I think I have a way to clean up that setup, but we could also just continue.
Yeah. Does it involve changing the factories, or the existing factories have it?
I think the existing factories. Give me a second to look through it. So if we create a chat, it will come with an app. That doesn't help. If we create an app, we have with chat, which is fine. An app will come with a project. So if we do create app
as the
with
first
chat,
thing.
Yeah. And then with chat. Cool. So now the next thing we want to create is a discovery sprint, right? And so that is create discovery sprint, and the project is app.project.
Project is app.project. And then the app is the app.
We already have a chat created, so we can just go app.chat. Right.
An app can have many chats.
Right.
Discover sprint. Discover sprint.
Okay.
Yeah,
that feels better.
This test should still pass. Yeah.
And let's get rid of the not received parts just again. Yeah, clean that up a little.
Okay, and then this should fail. But actually, I think we can remove this spec.
Yeah, I think so too. This the old functionality. Also, at some point, We should probably commit.
YOLO, dude. YOLO. No, yes, you're right. We should start a branch for one thing.
One of the things we did last week, Chad created a deployment environment. So I don't know, Chad, you could just push all these changes straight there. Just let's go.
I love it. Yes, I'm going to highlight that on the stream. Branches and commits are Monday through Thursday things. Friday equals YOLO. I don't know who you are chugging coffee, but thanks for watching, and I agree. Okay, so now we have our sprint agent. Everything's wired up. And so we're getting the new rules now. So if we go over to here and we go to a new chat.
Is it going to blow up because we had do we need to like start over so there's only one?
I created a new chat. So it should start with a fresh welcome.
I don't remember what was in the helper, but yeah, let's see what happens.
Great. Before we dive in, I want to level set on how this works. Over the next few conversations, we're going through a 10-step sprint in 3 phases. I'm one person the whole way through. I'll remember what you said.
Okay.
So what's the raw idea? Tell me what you're thinking about building. So there's no way that for it to transition from the sprint agent to the kickoff agent now.
Right.
So it's taking the initiative to ask me the idea based on just the sprint instructions.
Yeah. What would be, I don't know how quickly we could implement this, but it would be at least lovely while we're developing to have something in the UI that shows the current step.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you want to make a new partial, if you want to broadcast it, at least just now while we're trying to like spike it out. What are your thoughts? Now or later?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how actually what I was thinking about was how directly chat is getting tied to Discovery Sprint, and we don't have a direct association. It's everything is through app right now, and an app doesn't have just one Discovery Sprint; it has multiple. So we're hard coding it to one, but that further seems like for now we should just have one Discovery Sprint. Oh, it's not even that, it's through a project.
Yeah. So the idea was, I mean, just let's talk it out, because I think we really need to land this part. You're coming in with an idea. You're probably not going to do multiple sprints, and if you want to, we could always say like create a new project for it, like create a new branch. I do think though, then like once we've got the sprint, at the point that we're building apps, a project could have many apps, because we want to try like two or three different iterations of an idea,
right,
to put in front of users, etc. So a project having one sprint, a project having many apps, that feels like the clean spot. And the other option, because I Chad and I talked a bit about this throughout the week, like the Discovery Sprint model itself. Like you could push all the status up to the project and hang everything off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then project would have the step management and the step tracking. So I lobbied for a discovery sprint model in the middle, but like, hey, we're trying it and I'm seeing the friction.
Mm-hmm.
So can you think of a reason where if we just had a project and we were tracking the status, the current step, like off of that, do any blockers come to mind, or is like, nope, does that fill our what we're trying to deliver?
I think it fills it. Yeah.
And then we would just be committing to, when you create a project, you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, and let's say the project is let me pull up mine as well. So right, like the, I don't know, easy loan or whatever it might be,
Yeah.
that project is going to have the one sprint, like not necessarily the model, just the idea. Like it's going to have one sprint that the agent is running you through, and all your answers to it are locked in for that. And if you want to explore something different, that's a new project.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sold after seeing it like in practice here.
Okay, so now to go back to the original thing, we can force it now if we but on discovery sprint where we have it for the purposes of the 15 minutes we have left. Where do we want to show? It would actually be nice if it was somewhere here and then updated,
Yeah,
when it changes.
as we go. That seems fine. I know we talked a little bit about like how this is going to look. We need a different panel there. We could see where it's being rendered. I don't know. For now, we could also, just to make it easy to not mess with the panel, because you were pointing out it'll break tests. Down here, the send interrupt back. I know that's a view partial. What if for now we just throw it in there just to see it? And later we can move it to like somewhere better in the UI.
Sure.
I think that's like the action buttons. I think it's actions.
Yeah, actions.
Yeah.
Do we want to add a spec for it, or?
I think no, only because I don't think it's gonna live there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, at the point that we're like, let's make this UI look right for that, then I would say sure.
So it's chat dot. Oh, we just introduced step agent. Actually, we don't have a discovery sprint method on chat.
I know what I'm doing the rest of the day.
Okay,
cool.
So the current step is welcome.
We could. One idea is we could create the tool to change the step.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of close to where we are in terms of what we're delivering.
Okay, what do our tools look like? What do our tool specs look like? So defining the expected parameters and the behavior. So should the tool just always like advance or go back, or should we allow the agent to say which step?
I think the agent's going to have to say which step, because I imagine, yeah.
Okay.
So the first thing we could do is on the sprint agent, on its spec, we can add the expectation 1 that it has tools. And then 2, we can bring in the shared expectations for the tools that also just got merged. And a good model for this one would be to look at the app generation agent spec. So that it behaves like we're going to want to bring in, and then the expected tools, the name of our new tool will get in there. And then there's the, that we can do it in small pieces.
And the agent class is sprint agent. So what is this? Tools. Oh, it's just plucking the name.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like change step. Maybe here we say change sprint step.
Yeah.
So couldn't find discovery sprint. This is the broadcasting of the actions. That we added. It's
the one that
when we create the chat in our spec, it's triggering that broadcast.
Okay.
And it doesn't have and because we're using Soul, it's resulting in an exception.
Is it this test though that's triggering it? Like we could create the.
It's going to actually be every spec that creates a chat without a discovery sprint associated with it.
I mean, we could safe nav it for now.
We can't safe. We have to not use Soul.
Okay. Oh, because that's gonna. I see. Sure.
And then still going to error in the view because that's nil now.
Cool.
Okay.
And now here, you're going to want to pull that out of the app gen agent
Oh, right, because we need to have every tool.
Yep. And then the initialize, I guess, no, I think we don't need to, we don't care about tool call since review. This isn't code gen, so this is fine. Yeah, just those. Okay.
And it's going to
Now we should get
blow up with,
constant.
yeah. Change tool. Change step tool spec.
Looking at our tests.
Yes.
I'm trying to see like what vaguely matches, if anything. I don't think we have anything that like touches the database or anything like that. So I don't know. I would just, I don't know, grab any tool spec and start there.
Okay. So I'm not I didn't get what I wanted. Okay, so we need to define description and then the param. So like it doesn't, we need to tell it what the steps are. Like,
yeah.
Unless it can never go back to welcome. And then we make the instructions for the sprint. We don't have the steps here yet.
But functionally, right, we're going to tell it use this constant. Like we could read in the constant and say like, here are the steps. Again, though, before we get to here, maybe we just like write that test out that.
Well, there's no test to write for, we decided we weren't writing tests for descriptions.
No, I'm sorry. I meant like for the execute, basically. Okay. So like when we call it, like we could start with one. It doesn't set it to, say like some that come to mind. It doesn't set it back to welcome. It doesn't set it to an invalid step. And it does set it to a valid step.
It changes the, it doesn't, you said doesn't.
Like go back to welcome.
To an invalid step. It doesn't go back to welcome.
Yeah, like once we've done the kickoff, it's never going to go to that first one where it would like greet you.
Why is that important? Like, why would it do that? I guess is another way of asking.
Yeah, that's a good question. So if we look at, okay, cool. This actually is making me think maybe welcome isn't the right step name. Maybe it's like the spaces between steps. That's going to include the beginning. That includes the welcome, but includes like, we're done with kickoff. We're ready for the next step. And I'm giving you a break. Do you have any questions? The thing, go get some coffee, whatever. And so maybe it's like, and in which case then we don't need the last test. We could just stick with these two.
Right.
Sure. Let's do that. And at least we're close to time anyway, so it'll be good to get this part like in there.
Okay. So here we go. We're setting up a whole bunch of stuff again.
It is possible. I'm trying to think, do we need all the things? Because the tool is just operating directly.
Which it needs an app, which needs a discovery sprint.
Damn it, chat. It's too many things. Okay, wait, let me push back on a thing. Why do we need an app? Because
chats belong to apps, they don't belong to anything else.
Right, but we could just like accept the default that it creates. If we say like just create a chat, it'll come with an app, just because of the factory, right? Double checking that.
Yeah, I'm just copying the setup from before.
I think that the thing with that setup was like it was working on an app, so it needed like the app directory and the app path. Whereas this, all we need is these two things.
Okay, cool. So then after that, we expect the sprint.
Yep.
Step name is just step.
Nice.
Okay. So we expected kickoff, and we got welcome. And so now, okay, let's write this one. Launch. So what should it be? It just shouldn't change.
I'd expect it to raise an error and not change, basically. So if we look for one of our like our two rays. Let's see if we have a tool.
It shouldn't be an error. It should just be the tool should output that it's not a valid step as a string, so that the
right tool call. Yes. Okay. So a good one there, if you want to look at, would be I'm I'm looking at, maybe I can't tell if it's file validatable. I have too many tabs open.
I was just gonna do this where we check the results. We have
Cool. Yeah.
so we got nil because the tool's not returning anything and or doing anything.
Okay.
Okay, so
I think this is. Oh, actually, we don't have a validator on the model, right?
right.
Let's jump there.
That's the right place to put it though, huh? Yeah. So discovery, sprint, spec. Oh, we should probably validate the presence of it too. Although actually,
Yeah.
I think you get that for free with an enum because it can't be set to anything besides. Oh, it's not an actual Postgres enum. Never mind.
Yeah.
It.
Fun fact, our chat spec does not do either of those things. Like validate the status. Just curious, can I actually mess with it? I'm gonna try something locally.
Example class is not a valid step.
Yeah, okay, so I think the enum validator is automatically doing that. By virtue of having it, the enum on that, it won't, it's not letting you change it to anything. So
does it cause a validation error?
Yeah, like if you wanted to like jump into the Rails console and do like chat.last update status.
Oh, you were doing.
Yeah, so you could do that there, sure. So just
save it as sprint so we can see the errors.
Sure.
Sprint update steps. Launch is not a valid step. It doesn't even. So that's interesting that it raises an exception.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
The power of the enum. Like I think if you took off the enum declaration on the model, then it would allow anything.
I think that's okay.
I think so too.
Okay, well then we don't need. We don't need that thing that I did there. And this just becomes chat.discovery sprint. And it was an argument error.
So I don't even know that you need that because the exception handling on tool call should handle that.
Sweet. Let's see. Yeah, you were right.
Nice. Now, we might want to give it guidance in the description.
Yeah, that's
Otherwise,
what I was saying. Is like
yeah.
there really should be a list of the steps.
Yeah. I think we enumerate over them in the description.
Like in code, you mean?
Yeah.
Or just list them out?
I was going to do it in code.
Do you remember if this takes a block?
I believe everything in Ruby LLM takes a block.
Okay.
We could try it. Just try it with nothing. Just like if we run our tool spec, hopefully it won't blow up.
And the steps are on Discovery Sprint.
For now. Just for now. You know, while we're here, I'm just going to talk about it because I think it's maybe fun for the listeners. A little bit of shared pain. Like we from like 2 or 3 streams ago, I'd created this discovery sprint model with a controller. I opened the PR, we looked it over, reviewed it. We're like, nah, this is too much. Close that PR. Opened another one, slimmed it down. Nope, close that one too. Opened an even slimmer one. Chad was like, do we really need this? And I'm like, yes, we do. And so we merged that PR. And now we're essentially going to, revert it. It's okay. It's okay. It's a software discovery process.
Okay, so the valid so now do we need a test for this description?
Do we not? I forget. Was that the thing that we weren't testing anymore?
We weren't testing because they were just all static strings.
Yeah, I think we do.
I don't remember how to test the description, whether it was just available.
Yeah, let me take a look because is there any chance we have one that actually where we're like, we actually need to test the description, but I think we did pull it out of all of them.
Yeah, it's returning the proc or the lambda. So description is now returning a lambda. Ruby LLM calls call on that as to do that, I believe. So it's weird for us to call in the spec, but that's what Ruby LLM does.
Would it make any difference if you did description do?
I don't think so. I can try it, but expected nil. So now that we're giving it a block, description is, I'm surprised it's nil, but I guess I don't think you can call on a block. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we are giving the sprint agent that tool. Sprint agent spec should now pass.
Well, we should change that description.
Change sprint step. Expected collection contained, actual collection contained change step. Change step tool. Change sprint step. Change step tool. I accidentally called it change step tool
instead of
change sprint step. But I think we want it to be called change sprint step, right?
I agree. Yeah. Otherwise, like, change steps a little bit unclear to the agent. This at least gives it that a little hint.
And then change step tool. Uninitialize constant change step tool. Change sprint.
Okay.
Step tool.
Yay. So we could, if you want to have fun with it, we could go into a chat and tell it, change the sprint step to kickoff.
I'm bored. Let's advance to kickoff.
Well, now you've hurt its feelings.
I know. My guess is, okay.
Nice.
I'm bored. Advance it. Cool. Change sprint step to kickoff with an uppercase K. Kickoff is not a valid step. That's why it took so long. Oh. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Let's look at our description. Did we include? We might not have gotten to including the steps.
It's not there.
So I just made them up. Let's grab just that from the skill, and then we should probably wind it up soon.
Yeah.
But I would at least love to see that it can use the tool. Nice.
Steps 1 through 8 are. Okay. I think we need to say
We only have. Well, I guess we could leave this here for now.
it's still going to try to do it with a capital K, which I'm surprised it didn't pick it up from the tool description. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, actually, what does it print? No, it should be lowercase.
I think we would need to start over.
Yeah. Maybe ask it what the steps are. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the tool could probably downcase whatever it gets. I think.
Yeah. Let's try that. And then we'll tell it, try again.
My message. Did I not type it? I thought I typed
I don't
it.
know. So this could be, try reloading the view. Okay, so now let's look at that. Nice.
So it lost the connection.
Yeah, that we have a ticket open for that one. I have no idea why when it happens. Go back to welcome. It's thinking. Maybe.
I don't know.
Reload again.
We broke it.
Do we have the any Ruby LLM errors?
No.
I don't know, send it another message. Maybe we try, what's the other one? Like customer focus. Or have we defined that one yet? I guess we haven't defined it.
We haven't. Okay.
There it is. Oh, yeah.
Bad
the bad
request. Well, that's too bad.
And that's a situation where the chat gets into a state, despite our best efforts to not let it get into a state.
So I think that the initial thing isn't ever going to, like, given the information we've loaded in here, we haven't like told it what criteria we basically want
Yeah.
to go right to kickoff.
We do, but with like some kind of welcome,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of like, I don't know, the opening message. And maybe that one's the same all the time.
Yeah.
But
Cool. Well, good. I think that's a good place to wrap it up for now.
yeah.
I'll get this committed and then we can continue to work on it.
Awesome.
As always, thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Chad. It's a good week. We got stuff done. And we're YOLOing. We're YOLOing. That's it.
Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week at, I believe, the same time and same day. And we'll continue to be working on this, I'm sure. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.